Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Community Health. We have 8 locations to serve you better. Our staff is dedicated to help you and your family. Here's your host, Vicki Soule.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Community Conversations. We meet each week so that I can bring you different people from around our lovely community that have a vital part of the way we live and grow and explore different avenues of all kinds of things, arts, education, healthcare, so that you are in the know, particularly since as we continue doing things virtually, it's nice to hear a human voice every once in a while instead of just reading something. So today I'm delighted to have someone from the school district that I've never had before, Mr. Eric Seymour, who is the Assistant Superintendent of Student Affairs, Advocacy, and
Access.
I almost
Correct.
got it.
That's good.
SAAA.
Yes.
So welcome, Eric.
Thank you.
I think this is the first time you've been with me, but I'm sure that this is not your first time on radio. Pitching in for Dr. Moore as a superintendent.
No, it's not.
So tell us a little bit about you, though.
Okay. Well, I was a Vero Beach High School graduate and left, went to college, came back, ended up as a teacher and stayed there for about 10 years, became an administrative dean, assistant principal, then left this county, was recruited out. Went to St. Lucie County, did another 10 years. I was an assistant principal at Lincoln Park Academy.
Good for you.
And in 2003, got my own school, Northport Middle School. I converted that to a K-8, then came to Vero Beach High School, became principal there, got the first A in the history of that school, and then on to Oslo Middle School. After that, student services, then became a director, and now assistant superintendent.
Well, heaven knows you've got a lot of experience then in the education system.
Yes.
And, you know, I spent the first 18 years of my career at one organization, and it taught me a lot, but going someplace else added a whole different venue to that. So kudos for being brave enough to do that,
Yes.
Get out of the rut and go to someplace else and learn a little bit more.
It was fun.
Yeah, I'll bet
Yes.
it was. And obviously you've racked up a lot of accomplishments in your lifetime already.
Well, you know, it's to me all about children. And if I can look back and see what I've done for them, yes, that would be number one for me.
Well, you're a tall guy, so I would imagine there's very few middle school students that gave you a hard time during those years.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Really?
You never know. But, you know, I do.
More guts than brains?
Yeah, I do.
On their part.
Yeah, no problem. I feel that I do have a way with them. And I think if you were to see, and I do see them often, they'll tell you that, you know. So every day was a good day for me. And the biggest kid on campus was me. I had more fun than a little bit with my students.
So tell me a little bit about your job responsibility. That's a really long title. How can you break it down for us a little bit?
Well, I like to consider our department as a one-stop shop for parents, first off. And we have a wide array of responsibilities as we are over safety and security. I have one of the top in the state overseeing that, Mr. John Teskey. And he has, you know, really set the platform for other districts to measure. And when we look at his responsibilities, it covers all schools. And so that one person is primarily the safety and security person for each and every school. Wow. So we have an FSAT plan, Florida Safe Schools. And with that plan, every school has to be trained and meet the specs in order to open schools. So that's his responsibility. In addition to that, we go on each and every month. We go through trainings, and we have the sheriff's department and police departments working with us so that we definitely, you know, meet the needs of the state and actually showing that our schools are qualified and capable of managing any event of any type of circumstances.
That's reassuring to hear, because as years go on, it seems like our culture has gotten more
Yes.
violent. And knowing that the sheriff's department is at each school is comforting, but they can't be everywhere.
No,
I mean,
they
over
can't.
and over again, we've seen and heard that.
No.
So knowing that the teachers then work in coordination for continual training
Yes.
has got to be reassuring to a lot of parents.
Definitely. And I have Miss Beth Crisafoli, who's a dynamo. She is over school operations. So she manages administrators and making sure that, first off, they're qualified, they're trained in all of the certifications necessary for them to maintain their positions. She makes sure that if there are needs and any special needs of any individual, that she's available for them. So, she's very busy.
I bet.
My executive assistant, Sarah Milliman, is one of the best. And she makes sure that I'm where I need to be, but we handle parents with, the best of care.
I bet you have quite a diverse day.
Yes.
In terms
yes,
of what comes across
yes.
your desk as concerns from parents.
Right. We do. And then we have Daryl Ramol, who's also the tech who manages all of our security systems about the campus. So, we're very busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what's the best part of your day?
The best part of my day is being able to have a difficult situation that a parent feels that there's no way out, and finding a way out for that individual and that family.
Without breaking any confidences, could you give us an example?
Examples. What happens, and the reason that a lot of times we get the calls is that there's pretty much a stalemate at the campus. The administrators are trying to work with the parents, and parents don't feel that the administrators are. And our administrators, they work very hard. But sometimes, there are things that need to be done. And so my job is to go in, find a way out so both sides are happy.
Like a mediator.
Yeah, that's primarily it. And it's a lot of work because some of the issues are very complicated and takes time. But we want to make sure that our parents feel that they get the, support that they need. Yes.
Okay. So you gave me a topics list here, and the one that really struck me was about graduation rates.
Yes.
So that means there's some celebrating going on because the rates have gone up?
Yes, they have, and it is yes, definitely one of the factors that our superintendent in his plan and always, push our principals and students to do their very best. But you can't teach if the students aren't in school. So it is celebratory. And we want to make sure that the parents get the pat on the back for making this gain. And not only gain, when we look back in the last year, this district moved from 21st in the state out of 67 counties to 4th in the state.
Wow.
And with a
in terms of the grading system?
Of the attendance rate.
Ah, okay.
And then when we talk about,
phenomenal.
Yes, the percentage of growth compared to the average of the state, we grew 6 percentage points versus the state 0.6 percentage points. And then we are number one on the Treasure Coast as far as our student attendance based on the 21-22 school year.
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that when everyone was at home with COVID, everybody wanted not to have to be at home.
It was a major impact.
But feeling it and actualizing it are two different things.
Yes. Yes.
We all get sort of comfy sitting around with our slippers, laying on the couch, doing whatever we feel like doing versus going to school at some ungodly hour.
Yes.
That's what the high schoolers tell me.
Yes.
Oh, I got to be there.
And parents had to feel comfortable that we will have the environment that will sustain, and not allow their, some kids to get sick by whatever means. The parents say, hey, it's your responsibility. They wanted to be comfortable that we had everything in place to make sure it happened.
Well, I'm involved with the Dodgertown Elementary, so
Yes.
My focus is getting the littler ones to make those same gains. And being a parent myself, I understand some kids are easy to get into a structure and a habit, and
Right.
others from the time of their birth seem to want to be a little more independent from that structure. So kudos to you parents that are out there and doing the
Yes.
hard work of
love
encouraging
them.
your kids to go to school every single day.
Yes.
It prepares them for work, which of course they don't want to hear. Everybody wants to be Peter Pan.
Right.
But the reality is great things happen under that disciplined setting. And so that's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
So do you know our actual graduation rate this last year?
Yes. The state, we were at 89%, and we jumped from 89 to 95. Our goal is always
Wow.
to be at 95% and above. But, just to jump and be fourth in the state out of 67 counties
Yeah.
in such a short period of time after COVID
That's
is
phenomenal.
definitely an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are cynics among us always
Yes.
that would say, well, that may be because the standards have been lowered or the grading got easier. They played with the numbers.
Right.
Would you respond to that?
Yes. Well, if you look at the fact that we are comparing to 67 other counties, and the Florida Department of Education are the ones that actually hold our numbers, and we only read the data that is sent to us as a result of us providing the
Okay.
feedback. Now, I would say, too, that if we look at the other counties, we were very similar in very many categories. But over time, you can see how we've not only progressed in the attendance, but academics as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good answer. We're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll talk about other things that happen at the school, particularly in the older grades, since we've been talking about graduation rates.
Great.
So stay tuned. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
Create your restful retreat and save 50% now on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington Home during our winter sale and President's Day event now through February 28th at Sunshine Furniture. Sophisticated looks with a mix of contemporary, coastal, and Caribbean styles, Tommy Bahama Home offers everything you need for your personal paradise. At Sunshine Furniture, we have the largest selection of in-stock coastal and casual sofas, love seats, chairs, slipcover sofas, bedroom, dining, and occasional furniture from Four Seasons, Capri, Best, Bark Lounger, Hooker, Universal, and more. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have anything you need for your patio or lanai, including a gallery of Lloyd Flanders, Berlin Garden, Woodard, Hollywood, Brown Jordan, Windward, and Kingsley Bate. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture.
Affordable Water continues to offer you the best water on the Treasure Coast. Earn a competitive salary and a 401k, working weekdays as a delivery driver or water treatment tech. To apply, stop in at Affordable Water in Sebastian at 645 Old Dixie Highway.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule, and I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Now, what is TCCH, you might ask? It's a primary care facility, actually 8 different locations around our community that provide primary medical care, also dental, behavioral health, pharmacy, x-ray. It's sort of a one-stop shop for all of you guys that are continuing to work hard at your jobs and don't really want to take time off for medical things. So we have extended hours and one-stop shopping, as I said. So if you're looking for a primary care physician or dentist or a counselor, give us a call at 257-8224. Today, I've got the pleasure of talking with Mr. Eric Seymour, who is the Assistant Superintendent of SAAA.
Got it.
Student Affairs, Advocacy, and Access. How could I forget access? That's one of our missions as well, is to improve access around our county for care. And yours is improving access, I'm sure, to the various students who might, as they experience life in a classroom,
yes,
maybe they and or their parents experience something that they just don't know how to deal with. And that's where the principal comes in, and you help the principals and or the parents directly.
Correct.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the academics and all the great improvements that have been made, particularly in this last year. Again, if you're just joining us, keep those kids coming to school. You can't learn if you're sitting at home on the couch. Now, having said that, as a healthcare person, if they are sick, keep them home, okay? Or send them to school in a mask, okay? There's ways of dealing with both. But your group also works with a lot of extracurricular components of the school day as well.
Yes.
So you've been doing some new things. You want to talk about that?
Well, yes, we're also, and I failed to mention too, that we're over, when I say student affairs, all extracurricular activities, and that being athletics and the arts, we are. And what we've recently done as a result of surveys and phone calls from parents, we noticed that many of our kids struggle to pay and be a part of these programs. Just over a week and a half, I reached out to several individuals, and I would like to name them because, they are out in the community and people know who they are. But Miss Leica Gorin Moretta and Kenny Holmes, along with the NFL, has partnered with us to provide additional funding for individuals who struggle to be a part of these programs.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yes.
Kudos to you guys that are out there advocating for our school children.
Yes.
Sports is a very important part of learning. It's a different skill set, perhaps, that they're learning.
Yes.
Although sometimes things like math and geometry do get reinforced in some of those discussions. But certainly being out there, they learn more teamwork and the ability to follow instructions and be successful in a different environment.
Yes.
And I have seen it in my own family where some of my younger nieces and nephews have struggled to keep their children in athletics because it comes down to food or the athletic
Travel fees. Yes, definitely.
So now a lot of us talk about football because we just got through football season. What other athletics is the school involved in terms of the student affairs?
Well, the schools are definitely moving in the right direction. One thing about my department too, we have, and you can go on the site now and see an extracurricular dashboard. So we monitor all of the students that are involved in these activities. And we have a way that parents can go online and actually tap at that school, and you'll see in there that all of the programs that are available to these students. As those programs are available, we also monitor who's in those programs. So we have, for one sport athletes, we have over 3,680 students that are involved in athletics.
Wow.
In addition to that, those students go for additional sports, and that's where we have fees like pay to play. So we are working to reduce a lot of the cost and to encourage students to play additional sports. So we have 1, 2, 3 sport students, and the goal is to increase that.
It certainly teaches them time management.
Right. Yes. And we want to look at the fact too that since we can monitor that, we can pull any disaggregated data to show how effective that program will be as a result of participating in the program. So if you have a young man who's really busy in class and he wants to play a youth sport, football, for instance, they're going to do what they can in class to be a part of that program. So it really bodes well for all of our students across the whole curriculum and grades K through 12.
So how early do the non-playground activities start with kids, more team-based?
Well, we have, I would say, team building in our elementary grade levels. And for instance, if you've heard of Coach Bill Wilson, we have the Bill Wilson Relays. And you got kids in elementary schools, and I mean, that are just a part of these programs and want to run and learn the art of running. And so they're starting very early in elementary school.
That's very, very cool.
Yes.
So what other kinds of things would you like parents to know about your resources there at the school for them?
I would like the parents to know is don't be afraid to go to the coach and ask for assistance, because, you know, many of the coaches now working through that program. And the program is called My Kid Can. My Kid Can. And this program is going to be, and it is designed to assist those who are saying that, okay, the fees are too high for me, even if it's a travel sport. And you talk about lacrosse, just the equipment itself can cost thousands of dollars.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. So we want to assist any family who feels that, okay, they don't have the funding necessary to participate. And we will do that until the funds run out.
And, you know, as a parent, I think about all the advantages of their learning and doing all the way through school. Talk to me about then the, some will call it the way out to college on athletics. Is that still happening?
Well, yes, it is. Academics.
I hear a but.
Yes, academics are number one.
Okay.
And
let's not confuse the issue.
Right. And the goal for our superintendent and his strategic plan is to build student athletes. Okay. And if you know anything about your major universities, you know, they track all the way through 8th grade and want to look at the academics. Because not only that, when you look at the fine arts, if you have a person, a running back that is good on the field and just happens to play a violin and got good grades, that is a keeper. And so we encourage our kids to get involved in as much as possible. And not only that, you know, not just to choose one way out, but several. Absolutely.
And, you know, that is raising the bar for our entire community with that kind of attitude. Don't pick just one, but get good at 2 or 3 different things. You're capable. You can do this, and we'll support you.
Yes.
So, any funny stories about Dr. Moore you want to share, or shall we just say goodbye?
Well,
since he's not here.
I know he can't sit still. He walks in circles all the time, and that's because his mind is always running. But you're talking about a busy guy. He's one of the hardest working guys that I've ever worked for, and I so appreciate him.
And I think the community does as well.
Yes.
And wherever you are, Dr. Moore, I hope you're not working too hard on taking time to smell the roses. So thank you, Eric, for being here today. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for being here until the very end of the program. Next week, we will have someone else from the community, not the school system, but rather from a nonprofit agency that many of you probably don't know about, but also doing good work here in Indian River County. So I wish you a great afternoon, and we'll talk next week. Take care.